All right, everybody, Stan Smith from Sharp Canine, and please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Dog training business.
Oh. Do we start over?
So this is the first time she's ever talked, so we're gonna make sure she's able to do this. My name is Stan Smith from Sharp Canine.
I'm Jamie Navarro from Canine Concepts.
All right, and that is a reference to the clip that we played before this one. So today we're going to be talking about what?
Scent work.
And this is the intro to scent work. So you do AKC?
Yep, AKC odors are in here. That is anise, birch, and clove.
And are those the main odors for that?
Yep, and there's also cypress, which is a higher level odor, but they're all in one.
Cypress is
the fourth odor.
And so you would
start at birch,
and
then anise, then clove, and then cypress.
Okay, so what is he on?
All of them.
Okay.
Cocktail.
And is that the best way to introduce scents?
I think it is. You can do them individually. However, I personally cocktail them.
And how long have you been doing nose work?
Almost 4 years.
And you have a big male that's, what's his titles?
Kratos is Master Scent Work, and he has NW2. We are working on our Detective title and our NW3.
And if somebody wanted to get into scent work, what is some reference points that they should start at besides this video?
I would find an AKC trial and volunteer. They're always looking for volunteers. A lot of them have never been doing scent work or in a trial before, and it's just a good way to learn.
And is there a website?
Yep, AKC events.
And then they go to the...
Yep, you'll go to performance events, scent work, and then search whatever state you're in.
And then do their dog have to be AKC to compete in those things?
The dog, if it's not AKC registered, you can go through the PAL partnership. So if your dog is spayed or neutered, then any dog can just register that way.
All right, now that we got all that information out of there, the boring stuff, now we're gonna start the dog training. So how do you necessarily teach them this odor?
Okay, so this is Felon and he's 12 weeks. What I do is I put the cocktail in a tin, and all we have to do is put it down. Yes, and as soon as he touches it with his nose, we're marking yes and feeding.
Oh,
yes.
So I've seen some people use clickers before. Do you?
Yes, I do not use a clicker. I use the word yes. If you prefer the clicker, that's cool. I like yes because yes, good job. It puts emotion into it and more excitement versus the clicker is just monotone to me.
There you go.
So then once, like he has the idea, yes. So I'm gonna kick it and move it just so he has to, yes, good boy.
And this is just building the drive.
This is building drive and yes, and imprinting him on the odor. So he's learning the odor, what he's looking for, and he knows that when he finds it, he gets food. Yes.
And how long would you stay at this particular step?
It depends. If he's moving rather quickly, so for him, yes, good. We would move, like the next session, we would do something different. If the dog is struggling and when you kick it, he's looking at you, yes, confused. He just doesn't know the game yet, so we would just keep doing this. Yes.
And full disclosure, people, this dog is already on scent, and we're gonna bring Boot out here, and you guys are gonna see me struggle through teaching him how to intro to the nose work. So after you do this part, what would be next?
Okay, so this would be we would be done with this session. Next, for scent work, I would put it in a box and then do the same thing. And if we still have the same, like how good he is at finding it, we would add more boxes and then move them around. So he has to now check boxes to make sure he's found the right one.
So how long should somebody just say roughly? 3 to 5 days, a week, 2 weeks? I know it depends on the dog, but let's give somebody a reference point so they can refer back to.
So I would do this portion at least 3 days, and that's doing at least 2 or 3 sessions a day, yes.
And how long is a session?
It depends on the dog, right, how their focus is. You want to end the session before they lose motivation for it, but I would say no longer than 3 to 5 minutes.
And then are you marking it with an actual word, or right now it's just? Right now it's
just yes, because there is no like once you're in a trial, you'll say alert, and the dog will learn that that is going to be your new marker word. But for right now, that's all we do. When we start the game, I usually tell him like ready, 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 and that's kind of his cue. But I don't use a word yet.
Okay, cool. So, is there any other ways that somebody could introduce their dog besides just this tin?
Yes, there's Q-tips in this tin. You can put them in a straw. You can put them in a pipe, you can put them in a box. There's lots of ways to start. I like it this way just because I've had lots of success with it, and it's just easy to do at home, like if you don't have anything else other than this.
Okay.
How long have you been doing it?
4 years. This is Felon's 7th session, so.
7th session. And you sent me a video of him doing a nose hold. Explain
Yes.
that.
So there's tons of ways to teach an indication. Some people start with an indication, like at this level, you can start with an indication, making them down at the 10, making them sit at the 10. That's not how I like to train. I like to train the hunt first, so that they learn to love the hunt. And then I'll worry about an indication. We're not in detection, we're not finding real drugs, so there's not gonna be a jury or anything we have to talk to about what indication he has. He did exhibit a nose hold, which is smelling it and freezing with his nose, and that is a great indication. But I haven't put any pressure on him to have an indication. So nose hold, sit, down, whatever your preference is.
Cool. Let's see, what are the judges looking for at the actual trials?
So it's based on time, the fastest wins. So you don't have the judges don't really have any say other than if you drop a treat, that's a fault. If your dog, for instance, ruins a box, that's a fault. But other than that, if you're running clean, you find the odor cleanly, then it's just based on time. Now, if your dog hits on the wrong box and you call it, then that is an incorrect call and you're disqualified.
You only get one no
shot.
go.
One shot and that's it.
Hey, one and done, people, one and done.
There are organizations like UKC where novice can have another shot. But once you're out of novice, it's one call and you're done.
So then when the dog indicates change of behavior or whatever it is that when you're calling it?
Yep.
Or you're waiting on the actual alert?
It depends on your dog, but if you're in trial and you know he's an odor, you want to call it quickly because your time, right? If you wait for your dog to indicate fully, it can affect the time, but also it can affect your indication. So if I don't, and I call it when I just think he's an odor, then that indication will extinguish.
And then is it like an object that you have to identify, or is it just...
It could be anything. It could be a crack, depending on the level, it could be in a crack, it could be on the wall, it could be on a chair, it could be on a box, it could be on a tree outside, it could be hanging from the ceiling.
And how far does the dog have to be to necessarily be a correct odor? Because if it's in this line and he alerts over here, is that still right?
It depends on the judge and what it is. I would say if it's hanging from this basketball hoop, anything under here they would accept. If it's sitting right here in the crack and your dog hits over here, likely that's going to be an NQ because you want the dog to find source.
Okay.
If the judge is not sure, they'll ask you where. And so if you say right here, then you're wrong. So
it's in this area. And when she says source, the main source of where that odor is coming from.
Yeah.
The way scent work, it's a cone, it spreads out so it's wider at the end, and you want to get as close to that identification as possible. Y'all saw us fail on America's Top Dog because we did not know about the source odor. So is there anything else people need to think about whenever they're doing detection work? I noticed you have a glove on your hand. Why?
Yes. So taking care and making sure to wear gloves so you don't contaminate yourself, other people. Because if I always have clove just on my shirt, that's really confusing for the dog. So to keep odor tidiness, we use gloves to handle it.
Cool. All right, so let's do, is he finding him or anything yet already?
Yeah, he's like, we're on to the point where we can have 10 or 8 boxes out and he can find it.
All right, so pause this. We're going to come back with we found some boxes, and the step would be you're going to put it in the box?
Yep, I'm going to put it in one of the boxes, and then we're going to queue him up and see if he can find it for us.
So do I need to take him away, or you want to
just take him a little bit away. He doesn't have the function really to watch me.
He's not watching just yet. So
we're
we're going to cover his eyes so he doesn't see. Look at that, he's covering his eyes. Look at her, not me. She's doing the detection work, not me.
All right, we're ready for him. So he's not going to have an indication. We're going to mark it as soon as he hits the correct box. Come on. Yes, good job. Ready? Are you ready? Go. Yes, and we have an indication as a down there, and we'll take it. Good job.
So why aren't you forcing him to walk with you on leash, like making him search?
So I want him to be an independent searcher, and AKC knows work. The more involved that I put myself in, the more likely we are to fail.
Because you don't know where the odor is.
The dog does. The dog does, and if I want him to want to search. I want him to love to search, and I just want to be the dummy on the end of the leash calling alert.
I know that feeling. That's how I feel about Rocco. All right, so, and this is dual purpose. He's getting socialization too. He's getting in these boxes, building confidence. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And this is gonna wear your dog out a lot more than just physical exercise because they're using all of those receptors that they have in that nose. All right, so now he found it.
Yep.
Now what's next?
So right now I'm just continuing to keep him at source and treating that. So now that we've done that, we'll pull him off. Good job. Good boy.
And
then we can move the box around and we can do it again. Good job.
this is like 3-card Monty. You know, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up.
Good job. Ready. Which one is it in?
Go.
Go. Yes! Great job!
Ain't that the cutest little package you ever seen?
Great job!
So,
Good job!
all right, so you know where it's at. He went in the first one.
Yep, and
you
left.
didn't say anything.
Yep, because he left, right? He went in here and stayed in here.
Good, and that's what you're looking for
Yep.
for him to go back and.
Yep, and he's not at the point yet where like he has a super indication. Like we're still experimenting with that. So as soon as he's in the right box, I'm gonna reward him. So if your dog is struggling, that would help them. But he's obviously knows what he's doing here. So we're just gonna keep rewarding that, his down at the source.
Good. So then you would do what, maybe 3 to 5 reps of
Yeah.
this and then be finished?
So because he's younger, I would be done because he's never worked off-site before. So we want to end on a positive note. We want him to continue to want to do it again. So I'm going to pull him out and he's going to want to do it again, but we're going to be done.
Perfect.
So that's, yeah, I mean, it just depends on your dog. An older dog might be able to do another rep.
Cool. Yeah, and that's the thing, people. When you're starting to teach dogs things, start very slow. You can work up to the point where they're going for 30, 45 minutes, but in the very beginning, you have to keep it interesting for the dog. You don't want to make this boring. Think about stuff that you've done and you got bored with. You stop doing it after a while, but things you enjoy, like video games, playing basketball, PlayStation, whatever it is, you're going to do that all day. And we want them to value this just as much as you value PlayStation. All right, so now we're gonna go get Boot, and y'all are gonna see me teach him how to find, what was the odors again?
Anise, clove, cypress, birch.
All of those. All right, so we got baby Booter out here. He ain't no baby no more, big Booter, and we're gonna teach him something new. And this is what I like about Boot. He just wants to do anything. So, what do I need to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna put the tin on the ground. We're gonna get him over here.
Okay, hey, Boot.
And as soon as his nose comes in the vicinity of this tin, we're gonna mark yes and feed.
Okay.
Okay, and then as we progress, we'll want him to touch with his nose.
Okay.
I think he will though, right away.
We're gonna do this. This is something new, okay? Look, this is what we're doing. Yes. Good boy.
Yes.
And is it tossed in good?
That's
or
fine.
You
That's
want
fine.
him to come back?
Yep.
get
And
the
then we're not
reward?
gonna. It's up to you. Some people like to reward at source. Some people want him to come back. You missed the mark there.
Oh, so I was slow. That was my fault, people. See, it's so technical. Nope.
So we're not gonna say anything to him.
She's like, I'm supposed to learn to ignore stuff when Daddy's around. And all of these small indicators, he paid attention a little bit. Yes. Yes.
Good.
We want to mark his behaviors, and this is exciting for me too. Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Good boy.
So I'm poking him out a little bit, just because we missed a couple marks.
In the very beginning. Jen, do you have your clicker on you? See, he is a clicker dog. Yes. Good.
Just wait. This is the hard part because it's not fun. It's a little bit boring. He's trying to figure out what you want him to do.
And this would be called free shaping, right?
Correct.
Free.
Yes.
Good. Good job. And being in this large of a room, does that affect the teaching?
Yes. So if you have like X pens or something to keep the training area smaller, that would be helpful. Especially if your dog is a little bit ADD.
And he knows we do bite work in here, so he's
Right.
like, where are we going? Where's the decoy at?
Yep, and with an older dog too, like that has never done scent work, they're not used to putting their nose on the ground, right? They're looking at you for the next cue. So this is always the hardest part with an older dog, especially an older obedient dog, to kind of break through that looking at you for direction.
And especially these herders, that they're looking for direction.
Yes, good.
Boy.
Good job. Yes, good.
Good job, boo.
Yes, good job.
Oh, I should have marked that.
Yes, good job. Good boy. Yes, good.
Good job, boots.
Yes.
Yes. Good.
Yes.
Good. Starting to get the idea a little
Yes.
bit.
So one more hit. Yes. And then I would end it there. And then we would let him rest for a little while. We can bring him out in a little bit and do it again. Let him digest what he just learned.
Y'all stay tuned. So now we're gonna have somebody hide a scent without her knowing, and we're gonna see if her German Shepherd can find it. Cause he's a detection level like 7 or something, so he should be able to do this very easily. But if not, it's gonna be on camera. All right, so we got her standing outside. We're gonna put this pin in something. Let's go. Any, miny, mo, tiger, body, so any, holler, go, eeny, meeny, miny. There's nothing to clip it on under there. That would have been a good spot. I think a box would be too easy for him. That's too easy. So we're gonna come and touch some other stuff. We're gonna put our scent over here so you don't just. Alright, you ready?
He's excited.
That's a high motivated dog, people.
I thought we were gonna bite work.
And what you're seeing now is the dog is casting. He's looking for the scent. He's checking it out. And there will be a clear indication when he starts getting into odor.
That's probably dog smell, I would assume.
There you go. So I guess she does know her dog.
Go.
So in that instance, you're just going to remind him to get back to work.
Correct. That's not the odor we're looking for. Leave it. Hey, he won't do nothing to you.
He has to check. She has the odor.
Yeah, he doesn't have the odor. Come here. Great.
What's the cam zoom in since it is far?
All right, the whole room, right?
Yeah. Door seams as well. Trying to give him a little hint, people. Now the dog is starting to work. Let's cut down the search area. And this is a really hard one. This isn't just an easy scent.
It's hard because this is where he does my work. Change of behavior.
It's like that game back in the day. You're close, you're getting warmer, you're getting warmer. he had already did some fines in here before, right?
Yeah, there was one up on the table. That's why he checked. That's memory. I'm having a hard time, huh? Look. Alert.
Nice, that is good. And look, this is where the odor was.
Good job.
And the dog came, and he searched around here a couple times,
Yep.
but the scent was probably,
Yeah, and it maybe didn't. Yep, it didn't maybe quite make it out of there. We don't know where it was. Yes, good
But
job.
now he knows.
Good job.
But you saw the clear change in behavior. When he went, he checked, came back, and his whole body language changed, and she called it as soon as it happened. When you're doing this, again, don't get frustrated. Don't make your dog work harder than they have to, because now you're upset, and now they're really not gonna find it, and then you're really gonna be upset. So is there anything people need to know on a situation like that?
Yeah, I would just say like you saw him come in hot too much, right? And it took him a minute to find that scent because he was kind of at like a level 10. So we just had to be patient and let him find it for himself. I helped him kind of slow down and check. But I would just say like it takes time, depending on your dog too. Like if your dog's fast, sometimes that's a blessing, and sometimes they blow right by the odor.
And a lot of times, if the odor hadn't sat for a while, it
Yes.
hadn't seeped probably under
Right.
the door.
So the
until
longer
it
that
came out.
sits, yep, the longer that sits, the easier it will be because it'll have more time to come out of that. Yep.
So when new people are trying this, 5-10 minutes of scent before they try, 30 to 40.
It depends on the difficulty of the hide. So that's a door seam hide. It was inaccessible. Like that means he can't put his nose on the source. So something like that, you'll want it to sit, I would say at least 5-10 minutes. Anything accessible, if it's at nose level or lower, you can set it out and search for it. But the longer it sits, the easier it could be. Or if you have like a big area and there's vents and air blowing, that can also make it more complex. So it just depends.
So when you are learning, when you're teaching your dog, start very simple and then make it a little bit more complex. And would you suggest you hiding it at first so you know where it is so you can start paying attention to your dog's body languages?
You can, but you'll want to mix it up because if I know where all the hides are, likely my body language will give it away sometimes. So if I know the hide's there, you'll find yourself kind of like looking there, or like when your dog searches, you'll stop. And things like that you don't realize you're doing will cue your dog. And so that could lead to some false alerts. So I would definitely mix it up.
All right, so we're gonna get Boot out for one more little session, see if he's understanding it, and then you guys are just gonna have to stay tuned at the progress. Anything else people need to know about nose work?
Nope, that's it. Just have fun.
And take your time. All right, so we got Boot out, and we're probably gonna do a couple more.
Yes, good job. So he's already knowing what he needs to do. Good boy. Yes. Yeah. Good boy. I'm gonna put it on the ground now and see what we got. Yes. Yes. Good boy.
Oh, I missed. You gotta catch it, Boot.
He says, "Hard, I'm looking at the tin." Yes.
Good boy.
Good. Yes, sir. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, boy, that's good.
Good. Getting closer. I need more treats.
Need more treats. Dad's not prepared. Always make sure you have enough treats in
I was
there.
partially prepared.
All right.
Good boy. Yes.
Good.
Good catch. Yes, sir.
Dad's a little slow.
Hey, I'm getting it out as fast as I can. And when you're learning this, people, get somebody who's not mean to you. See, he's supposed to be positive reinforcement.
Wait again. For him, not for you.
It's a team effort.
Good boy. Good job. Yes,
sir.
good boy. Good job. Good. Yes. Good boy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good boy.
Yes, sir.
One more here.
Yes, good boy.
Yes.
Hey, good boy. Yes, good job. Oh, that's more interesting. Yes, this is just more fun. Oh, I don't.
Yes. Good
That was the
boy.
last one. See, people, you got to get to it. A
You always
trainer
gotta
who's
be
helping you
prepared. You
out.
always gotta be prepared.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Good boy.
Are we doing any
Yes.
more?
Can you grab your dog though? Good boy.
Can you just put the odor up?
Wait, in my pocket.
Good boy.
Good boy.
All right, put it on the ground. Good boy, odor. Yes.
Yes. Good boy.
No,
I know this is fun, huh?
she's more fun.
It's just fun here, Booter.
And people always wonder, why am I thinking about selling boots? This is it. He's cheating on me now. He want to do nose work.
Yes. Good. Yes.
All right, so anything we need to leave the people with?
No, just be prepared. Have your clicker in hand if you're using it.
When you get a small size dog, people, you can do stuff like this. So, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Clicker, do this for about 3 to 5 days
Yep, be
until he
patient.
understands. Start kicking it around.
You saw me pick it up when he had some troubles. Another thing you can do is put it on the ground and actually put a treat on top of it if your dog's really struggling. That way they just self-reward.
Cool. And would you do this with like their meal?
Yes. So it also depends on your dog. If your dog's super food drive, you don't necessarily have to replace the dog's meal with this. If it's not, then yeah, it would replace the meal.
All right. So if you have any questions, people, can they reach out to you?
Yeah, find me online on Facebook, Canine Concepts of Texas.
And as always, people, just take care of your dog.